What the fuck is up, YouTube? It's your boy Fennekin. It is currently March 24th, 2025. It's 2:16 a.m. And if you're wondering why it's very echoey, reason being, well, I'm on the toilet right now, so that's why I decided to make this video because, well, I'm really bored right now, like extremely bored. I've been looking at I've been honestly for the past because I'm on spring break. I've been looking at my screens, so like laptops, phone, Switch. I've been looking at screens for like literally the past 2 3 days, and well, that's not really healthy. And I'm looking at the screen right now, but I just wanted to pass the time by telling a story, right? And well, multiple stories for the most part, because I have a lot of stories to tell. So, um, but yeah, first story is now keep in mind I'm really bored. Like I've been telling you guys, like I'm really bored. So, if I don't sound too excited, it's not because I'm sleepy. It's just because you don't. You kind of have to keep it down because there's other people sleeping. But um, yeah, for the most part, I just sound bored. So you're just gonna get like a bored version of what I have to say. But here you go. So in the fall of 2019, I was on a football team, right? American football team, not association football, not soccer, right? Football, but American football, egg ball, right? Egg ball. Um, and I was um one of I was one of I wouldn't say 15 or 16 guys originally. My football team originally had about 16, 17 guys, but it dropped down to like 13 guys, right? And the guys that left, so shout out to Tayshawn, shout out to Camille, shout out to Cam. Um, uh, Cam left for fencing. Tayshawn, I think he just stopped showing up. And Camille, he didn't have a physical. And because he didn't have a physical, he didn't go get a physical. And he just didn't want to get one. So, now keep in mind, this was like 2019. And Camille, I think he was new. Um, yeah, he was new because this was his first time. I'm not sure if it was his first time in the States, but it was his first time like being in Michigan, I believe, or at least like living in Michigan. So I'm pretty sure he just didn't really understand what it was. Because at the same time, he's 12 years old. So, but we originally had those guys on our team, and their bodies, right? They had like lineman bodies, like actual lineman bodies that we could have used. Like we needed their bodies, but because I remember my coach saying that, my head coach, he was a cool guy. We had two coaches actually. Um, one of the coaches kind of looked like that one dude from Hardcore Pawn, that show Hardcore Pawn. I think his name is Seth or something like that. He kind of looked like him, just with more hair. And the actual like head coach was like some leprechaun dude. I forgot the guy's name, but he was really cool though. I haven't seen him since like 2020, so I hope he's doing good. But yeah, that was like the last time I saw him. But yeah, we needed their bodies, right? And we went to the football field, and just a bunch of guys just started leaving left and right. And we had like 13 guys, right? Which is not even, listen, if you know anything about football, in football there is 11 guys on the field: quarterback, running back, fullback, 5 linemen, so that's 8, 9, 10. For the most part, 11, yeah, because it's tight end, two wide receivers for the most part. So, without those guys, right, we basically didn't even have a full team. Like literally, like like every single player on the team had to play on both offense and defense. Dude, I had to play 6 positions. I had to play lineman. Shout out to Gunnar. Me and Gunnar was the center, and He's one of my. We're still cool to this day. And by the way, congrats for getting accepted into college, bro. That's cool. Um, it was we had a block. Like it was me and him. We both. I was the guard. I was either the no, not the guard. Cause wait, hold on. The tackle and the guard. The guard is like in the middle. No, guard's like in between the center and the tackle, right? Left tackle, offensive guard. Yeah, center, offensive guard, offensive tackle. So yeah, I had to play the guard position. And while Gunnar was the center, we had a block just a bunch of fat dudes. It was crazy, and I hate to admit this, but we got shitted on, because those guys are big and they just like basically like pummeled through. We took him down, but he took us down with him, and it was just crazy. But yeah, shout out to the team. The team was really cool. Um, I was not really great, honestly. I was a second string, right? The second string on a team that only has 13 guys. That's not even good. But yeah, I was pretty bad. I was very short. Obviously, well, I still am. I still am short, and I had to play the guard position, the tackle position on offense. I had to play. Um, I think it was fullback for a minute. Well, for not when I say for a minute, it was like a play, which I kind of got a little excited for. Same thing with linebacker. I got a little excited for that as well. And then I got defensive tackle and then defensive end, and then one of the punting positions. It's like where you run and chase after them. But yeah, I played like 7 positions, which is, you know, it's not really. It's more so positions of just like. Keep in mind, this is middle school, so it's not like positions where like you could, do stuff. Obviously, my body was more so meant for like. If I was good at kicking or punting, my body's more meant for that, or just like my body's more meant for like being a fullback, I guess. Because keep in mind, we're rarely throwing passing plays. This is more so running plays, like straight up, like running plays, like 1970s style, right? And um, our team went 0-6, and we lost by at the least 35 to 40 points. At the least 35 to 40 points. And for the most part, it would be blowouts. We would not get a single point, right? And I remember one time, I'm not going to mention this person's name, but I remember who it was, though. He's really cool, though, so I'm like, obviously, I agree with him, right? When this happened, I agreed with him then, and I still agree with him now. Our team was terrible, and our team was not good. And I'm like, he's right, but at the same time, though, it's like, motherfucker, do you want to come suit up for us, bro? Because there's like fucking 13 guys, bro. We need some help, right? And you're athletic enough. You can come help us, bro. You can play the running back. You can play the running back position, right? Or like some shit, right? But yeah. But I do remember like a lot of the guys would come, and they would, like a lot of guys on the team, they would come and tell my coaches, be like, hey, we will recruit this guy on our team. Hey, we'll recruit this guy on our team. And the coach was cool with it at first. He was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But then he like was like, days started to come by, and weeks started to come by, and the coach was like, where are these players that you guys were saying were going to join our team? You guys said that like 2 weeks ago. You guys said that a couple of days ago that they were going to be on this team. They're not on this team. What's going on? A lot of these guys bailed out, just didn't want to join the team because they knew how terrible we were. At the same time, though, we definitely needed these guys, because these guys that we were getting weren't just any people. They were like straight up, like these were like soccer or football athletes, right? That we needed. And these guys could have been good for, running back, wide receiver, cornerback, safety. They could have been really good for that. And I actually did play cornerback one time. I have a really funny story about that. Sorry to make throw it off, but I played against this. I forgot what school, but I played against. I was cornerback for a little bit because the coach made me cornerback, and it was interesting because I faced up against this one kid, right? Not to sound messed up, but he was a black kid, right? He was a wide receiver, and their quarterback was really tense. He was like a really tense white kid, and I was talking trash to the wide receiver, right? And he was like talking trash back to me, but we ended up like giving each other a fist bump at the like around the time. He was like, "Okay, yeah, you got me," and he was like, "Okay, you got me." So, but yeah, it was cool. It was a mutual respect, but like still, you kind of have to get that out, right? Because obviously it's sports. It's not you're like you're gonna be friendly out there, right? You have to, be competitive, right? Um, this dude, we're like they're near the touchdown, right? And the quarterback, I think it's like a third or fourth down. The quarterback throws, or it might have been a 2 point conversion. I don't know. They threw a pass. The quarterback threw a pass, and the wide receiver I was guarding drops the ball, or like I think he almost tried to get it, but he maybe like the quarterback, he was just stupid and just didn't get it. But whatever, the wide receiver just didn't catch the ball, right? And the quarterback just like yelling like, "What are you doing? Why'd you drop that? What's going on?" Or for them, something like that, right? It was like, "What's going on? Why'd you do that? Oh my God, just catch it!" Right? No, I vividly remember that happening. Actually, it was at our home field, right, where we had just a bunch of people. I remember being on the sideline for some of those like games and like just like talking to like even before the games. I remember talking to Joseph. Shout out to Joseph. Um sometimes in my English class videos you guys see him because he's sitting next to me. But um, shout out to Joe. Sloppy Joe is what we call him. Sloppy Joe. Um, he was like one of the coolest guys ever. He still is one of the coolest guys, but he was on our team. He wasn't on the other football team because we had two football teams. So he was on the actual middle school football team, and he was a pretty good center as well. But he didn't really play center. He just played the lineman positions with me and Gunnar and stuff like that. And Lincoln, shout out to Lincoln as well. Shout out to Lincoln's dad as well. They're really cool guys. Um, and who else? Breydan. Shout out to Breydan as well. He was on the defensive line as well. I think he also played linebacker because he was a little more, he was on the taller side on our team. Um, but yeah, um, the quarterback threw the ball and he just didn't catch it, I guess. And I think that was like the last time I ever played that position because I just remember going back to my same old boring ass defensive defensive and defensive tackle position. But yeah, another story about this football season is I remember one time. This is all over the place, so I'm not even sure like what coordinate games that this was, but this was a home game. Um, it was a home game, and we were waiting for for the football team to play us, right? And we were there. We were all suited up, right? We're just chilling at our end zone, at our side of the field, right? We're just chilling there, right? Our coaches are making phone calls, like wondering what's going on. The referees are coming up to our coaches, like, "Hey, is the game starting? Like, hey, are we free to leave? What's going on?" We didn't know what was going on. Team hasn't showed up. It's like 20 minutes after, right? We're just waiting there, right? I'm thinking to myself, sweet, I get to go home, right? I don't want to do this, right? 5 minutes later, we see the team's bus show up, right? And they go to this parking lot that's a school, drop off the guys, they come over here, right? And then they're with us, right? And we play them, right? I think this is this is not the team with the, I forgot which team this was, but there was a team with a girl on it. It was a running back. Well, yeah, honestly, like straight up, um, the team got there and they blew us out, obviously. And, it was like, I think this was the game actually where I couldn't even finish it because by that point, like the fourth quarter was nighttime and stuff like that. This referee, right, who looked like Penguin Zero, Moist Critical, he, or Penguin Z0, he came to our, he came over to me while on the sideline. He was like feeling my shins. He was like, "Hey, your shins are not like tucked in, right? You're not tucked in all the way." So I'm like, okay. So I go to my coach, right? My coach is like feeling it. And he's like, just go back out there, right? And then we get like a play or two plays, in until like I think it was like defense or offense I was on. The referee comes back out and he feels me. He feels my shins again. He's like, "No, we just can't have that happening." So I ended up running. I'm like, "Hey, coach, sub somebody in." I run out. I go to the locker room and I just chill there for the rest of the game. And I remember being there. One of the fucking hall monitor at my high school or some shit. I don't know his name. Well, I do know his name. I'm not. His name is fucking Maurer or some shit. This fucking Mr. Maurer. He comes, right. He's a fat dude. He comes and he's like, I think he has like a trash can with him or whatever, and he's just like he's on a phone with somebody, right? And then I make some noise, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Someone's like, "Somebody's here." He hangs up the phone, and I open up the door, and he's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he was like, and he takes a flashlight. He starts looking at my eyes, like, "Yo, can you see me? You got a head problem or anything?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "No." So we chill in there, and I'm like, "Hey, what's this? What's the score?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it right now." So he's like just looking out for me a little bit, I guess you could say. But also, yeah, the score doesn't really matter because we're getting our fucking asses whooped anyways. Um, but we're in there. Team finally comes back in. They're like, "Yo, Lennox, you alright, bro?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. It's just the referee. I couldn't play because I'm not sure if it's because of how tall I am or maybe I put on the I think I put on the shins correctly. I remember, but at least I think so. But I just put on my shins and the shit wouldn't like go down because it has to be my shins. Okay, my shins were like up to like, okay, so like this is like, okay, so these are my knees, right? This is my knee, okay? My shins, my knee shins or whatever, they were probably like maybe above that a little bit, right? They weren't like like connected with it. They were like maybe like 25% of it was connected with it, and the rest was just not connected with it, right? But 75% was not connected with it, right? If I did my math correctly. But yeah, not really too much of a big deal. But I think like the game, the week, the week afterwards, the game like beforehand because it was an away game. We're waiting for the bus and the coach is like feeling my shins. He's like, "Oh, just screw it. Just don't even bother. If you get called off, you get called off. You don't, you don't." And uh, again, this is like bouncing all over the place. I know it's like kind of bright right now, but I do remember going to uh, this away game. I remember the school actually. I'm not gonna mention the school. Or at least I think I do. Um, but I remember us. We sucked at the role of so in football, right? Whenever the quarterback's like hut 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 hut, like he says it multiple times to like throw off the defense, so they get like um what's it offsides or something? Yeah, offsides. They run in offsides, and I remember like I remember some of the guys on my team because I was really good at that. I don't want to like throw myself out there. I was really good at like it once because I always paid attention at the ball. If I always saw the ball move, I knew to move. Okay, right? Because I'm on the defensive side, I always knew to move. Um, but my like other guys, so Breydan, for example, this dude, he kept on trying to like going. Well, it wasn't him only. It was also with the offensive line as well, fucking up. they both kept going it, and my coach was so annoyed. He's like, "Oh my goodness, stop doing that!" Right? It was really funny because it's like, well, it wasn't funny, but it'd be like really funny and moments like, dude, just like I was like straight up, like I remember telling my guy like, dude, fucking pay attention to what the fuck you're doing, bro. Because like, dude, you're fucking keep on running, dude. You keep on like going like this, dude. You keep on like guys are like this, bro. You keep on like going like this, bro. And they have to stop the game because you're fucking up. It's crazy, dude. But yeah, that was one incident though. Another incident though, it was an away game. It was actually raining out, and yeah. It was really funny though. The announcer called Gunnar for a tackle, but he didn't actually tackle anybody. It was somebody else on the team. I think it was either the player, the running back tripped, right, and somebody on our team tackled him, or it was maybe just like a fumble, right, and it was a fumble recovery, and they got back up, but then one of our teammates tackled him. By the way, Gunnar did not get it. He was literally walking to the action while they were getting tackled, and he wasn't even like his hands were literally just like his hands were like just like by his shoulders. Well, his hands were by like his body and stuff like that. It wasn't doing much, and he got a free tackle out of that. So that's one check to the thing. But yeah. But speaking of tackles though, that's actually my only statistic of that football year. 6 games. 5 games actually. I hate to admit this, but I know I'm actually not going to admit it. But never mind. I don't know if I should, because I've grown. But the last game of the season, I'll admit it actually. The last game of the season, I bailed out. I didn't even go. It was raining out. It was an away game. It was an hour away. Drive an hour away to this to the stadium to play. My 12-year-old self was like, nah, I ain't doing that. And I remember just staying there with I went to go get water with my dad and like do errands with him and stuff like that. It was raining out, right? So I was just like no mood to go and do stuff. But I do remember like being at the water place, and I do remember seeing like the school bus with my teammates just drive past. And I was like, damn, and, like. This is definitely, like, yeah, I remember being in the bathroom actually at my house, and my teammates were Breydan was calling me, and Nathan, shout out to Nathan, they were calling me, and they were like, yo, bro, where you at? And I'm like, bro, I don't want to play, bro. Like, bro, I'm not, and like, because I told them I'm not feeling good, right? Which I kind of wasn't, but I was like, I just don't want to do this. And there was like, and Breydan was like, oh my god, and he just hung up. But yeah, I do regret that though, because even though we did get our asses whooped that game, my appearance there would not have helped. It wouldn't, right? If anything, it got more playing time for the other dude that wasn't there. But yeah, last game of the season, it's honestly whatever. I don't think much of it because it happened, right? I'm not a quitter on stuff like that. I really wish I was there for my team, but I wasn't, and it's whatever, honestly, at this point. If anything, if I could go back, though, to, like, that season, I did enjoy, like, the experience of it, but one of the things I probably would have done is probably, like, actually went to that game. Because that game definitely, like, I feel like, because it was the last, might as well just, like, tough it out and stuff like that, but, yeah. Our best player was Korey, though. Shout out to Korey. He was the running back. Well, he played multiple positions, but he was our running back, and he got a lot of the touchdowns that we did get was mostly from him. The few rare times or whatever he had a touchdown, it was from him. And I remember being on the sideline. I remember him coming to the sideline. It was night out. This guy's whole hand. I'm not sure if somebody stepped on him with cleats or whatever. His whole hand is bleeding. It's bloody. And my coach runs to get a gauze from the locker room or something like that. I go get a water bottle for him, right? Well, not like what like those Gatorade spray bottles. Where you like to your mouth. Whoa. But yeah, I remember doing that. But he was definitely one of the more rugged players. And Eric, shout out to Eric. I actually gave him my gloves, right? Which is kind of stupid because the gloves I gave him, I'm not sure if there's like different football gloves, but the gloves I think were meant for a lineman, and he was a wide receiver. So I don't know if that would have helped because it doesn't. Because he still has those gloves to those. Well, it doesn't fit him anymore for the most part. I think I don't know. This is 2019, so this was 5 going on 6 years ago. September, October, so. But yeah, football season, that was interesting. There's a lot more to it. The videos of it being raining and stuff like that. That was like our first time I think ever going to practice, or one of our first times going to practice. And I remember being there, and then we had to run from so many places and stuff like that. We were in because there's like a public restroom at the park, right? We were like sheltering inside of there. And then Camille got so excited he started screaming, and then he started yelling inside of the girls' restroom. And then Gunnar was like, "Bro, Camille, that's the girls' restroom, bro." That was really funny. And then we just waited until there for like 10 minutes until I wouldn't say 10. Well, it was like 5-10 minutes until the rain began to calm down, and we got to go home. I walked home because I lived close at the stadium at the time. And it was, that was probably one of the most exciting parts of middle school for me, that football team. We sucked, yes we did, but it was the team, it was the chemistry. Honestly, even if we had those guys originally at the season, we still would have lost for the most part, I feel like. But at the same time, though, it's really hard to go up when there's like 13 guys against like 34 guys on the other side of the team, right? Who have like a full rotational squad, a full kicking squad. They're throwing fucking Hail Marys and shit. It literally it's like 47-0. It like 2 seconds left in game, right? And the coach is an asshole, and they're like, "Hey guys, even though we're winning this game by 47 points, let's fuck with them and throw a Hail Mary, and let's show them who's boss," right? So honestly, and I do remember like some of the people coming out, some of the friends, like some girls would come and hang out with us before practice started and would just be with us, hang out with us and stuff like that. And it was really fun. It was definitely an interesting experience. And keep in mind, this is before the pandemic was in the United States, so a lot of stuff was pretty still open. It was a little more chill, you could say. But something really funny though. I originally made this video, the video you're watching right now. I originally made it, so like 28 minutes ago. This was the story I was actually going to talk about, but I guess I didn't because I just talked about the entire football lore of my football career into it. My first football career. This is my second football career. My first football career began in 2014. Right? It was flag football. That was it. Flag football. And the story was before practice, some of the guys on my team, I think they were either arguing with each other or something like that. I mean, this would usually happen for the most part. They would usually argue before practice. And I remember one time my coach actually I was in the bathroom, I was changing, and my coach got really mad. He threw a football at the floor and he started yelling at the guys in the locker. I was in the bathroom, so I wasn't even there to see the coach actually yell at them, but I just heard it. He's yelling at it. He's like, he throws the ball on the floor. Boom, 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 boom. Ball sound effect. "I'm really sick and tired of you guys yelling at each other. We do this every single freaking practice. You guys are yelling at each other. I'm tired of this BS. You guys are yelling at each other. You guys are brothers. You guys should know how. You guys should know what's best, okay?" And he was right. They were brothers, right? And it's even funnier because we did have a couple like people related, like JaVin. Shout out to JaVin and Joseph. They're related, right? They're on the team. David, shout out to David and JaVin and Korey and Eric, right? For the most part, they would just be arguing with each other for the most part, right? But they really liked each other. I think it was just like brotherhood argument, right? I think it was more so cocky arguments, but also like serious arguments about like the team and like like how they could improve and stuff like that. But I think it was also just general talk, shit talking as well. Um, but yeah, back to the thing though, unlike originally, because it took me 30 minutes at this point to get to it. But I'm glad I'm telling this story because I like my football career. So because it was something I vividly remember, right? And it was very interesting, right? And I remember that stuff. So, but for the football, like before practice, um, somebody, I don't know if they were walking by. There was like a house that saw us from distance. I guess I don't know. Cops were called on us, right? Because maybe they thought there was going to be like a brawl, taking place, right? No brawl took place. The cops show up and they talk to those guys that were involved, and then they go over to me and like four other guys that are just hanging, nearby the baseball dugout, because the baseball and the football stadium are like literally next to each other, right? We're nearby the dugout. We're just hanging out nearby there and stuff like that, by the gates and stuff. They come over to us and they're like, "Hey, so hey, did you guys see what's going on? Do you guys know what's going on? Hey, you guys, are you guys, doing something? Why are you guys over here? Not necessarily why you guys are over here, because they saw with the, like wearing football cleats and stuff like that, and they were like, okay, yeah, this is probably like they're just like part of like the football team and stuff like that. It's like time of the season, so it's that time, so it makes sense. And that, and maybe they thought because there's also a skate park nearby, they probably thought, oh, maybe they're like some skaters or something like that. But yeah, they come over to us and they asked us some questions about what's going on, blah blah blah. We tell them what's happening. About 5 minutes later, they leave, and I'm not sure if we told the coach or not. If we told the coach, I'm pretty sure. I forgot if we told the coach or not, because if we told the coach, I feel like I think he was pissed. If we told the coach, okay, so I'm pretty sure we told the coach, but I'm not sure. Because I'm pretty sure somebody probably spilled the beans on it, but I'm pretty sure somebody told the coach, and the coach was not really happy with it. But at the same time, though, because we were a football team, we'd like to keep on the low. I'm pretty sure some of the guys were just like, no, like they told the rest of the guys, like, hey, let's not talk about this, and they're like, okay, we just didn't talk about it, right? But more than likely, I'm 97% sure we told the coach is what happened. And yeah, because I remember every football game took place on a Tuesday. No, fuck. Every football practice took place on a Tuesday and a Thursday. At least I think so. Oh no, was it a Tuesday or Thursday? Or no, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? Wednesday I think was the football game. That or Thursday. But I do know that Tuesday and Thursday were practice days, or Tuesday was definitely a practice day. Thursday might have been a football game, but I'm positively sure Tuesday and Thursdays were practices, and Wednesday was the big game. That's just what I remember, though. I could be wrong, but I'm positively sure I'm correct on that. But yeah, that's my football journey. That second football journey that wasn't flag football. It was cool though. I really liked it. Playing when the sunsets happen, playing, during nighttime. It was really cool. It was really interesting. I remember I think I already said this in the video, but my career statistics is one tackle. One assist tackle. One tackle. they always kept on telling me, "Hey, go for the legs," which is also true. But I more so just went for the ball for the most part, so I can pop it out. But yeah, I do remember like clashing with some of the teammates though. Not some of the teammates, but with shout out to Gunnar. But I do remember clashing with him sometimes, right? And I remember like because this was also like September, October. You like my nose started to just like, I had a lot. It was a fucked up time because I had a hard time putting on chin strap and shit like that, and like wearing equipment. All this shit could not fucking fit me, bro. I don't know what the fuck. I weird genetics, bro. Cause some shit couldn't even fucking fit me, bro. Like the mouth guard, like kept on like doing this. It couldn't even be like this, cause if it did like this shit became. It couldn't even fit me, right? For the most part. So literally, like it just like that, like bottom chin strap became my fucking second mouth guard. But yeah, um, it was very interesting though. But yeah, I remember back to like the nose thing, bro. Nose like mucus boogers, nasty. Like kept on like it just kept on like coming down. Not kept on coming down, but it just like kept on. My nose was constantly like I gotta like get the sniffles out. Wild time, bro. But yeah, that's my football. My time doing football. Um, I'm saying all this in the bathroom. I know my mouth is really, 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 really dry. Drier than Arizona for the most part. I need some water. And yeah, 2019 football season. Fennekin. Forever.